Hey everybody, this is Jennifer from Park Place Child Life Center, and check out these cool guys. We're giving these kits out tomorrow in the neighborhood for the kids sheltering in place due to coronavirus. And here are our little kits that we are making for the kids. So I'm going to show you in this video how to make these cool rocking snails. You can't see it too good from there, but I'll show you in a minute. And if you have the kit, you can just follow along with what I'm doing. If you don't have the kit, you can do it anyway. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to need is a pencil, some scissors, a glue stick, a round template, a colored pencil, Sharpie. You need some cardstock and some bright colored paper, which could be just copy paper or it could be construction paper. And you could try it with just regular paper if you want and color it yourself. There's a million ways you can go. But if you get the kit, you're going to get something that looks like this. And this is made out of cardstock. So it's a little bit thicker than regular paper. And I'm not going to cut this out because I don't want to waste time on the video. I'll just keep this short and sweet today. But here's one that I already cut out. And so you see it's nice and thick. Now, if you want to, if you use a black Sharpie like that, you can leave the line on it or you could take it off. For this, what it's going to be is the body. So what's what I'm going to do? I'm just going to fold it this way so that you're not going to see the line anyway. And you fold it right in half. Now, most of you know when you got to fold, you want to run something over it. In origami or in bookmaking, you use a bone folder. But for the purposes of this, you can use your fingernail, you can use a pen or something like that. But just always remember, when you make a fold in art, you want to have a nice crisp fold, and then it's going to work much, much better. All right, the next thing you would do is you would cut out these two. Now, these are their eyes, and the eyes are really super fun. So I already have mine cut out here. And you can use a Sharpie. Now, if you don't have a Sharpie, you can use a black pen. Now, the black pen is not going to give you as thick a line, but, you know, it will work. A lot of times you can pick up a Sharpie for $1 at the dollar store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw the, it's going to be like a bean shape. So watch how I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw like a bean or a bubble letter C. And I'm going to draw another shape at the bottom. That shape at the bottom is going to remain white, and that's the highlight. It makes the eye, like you know how your eye's a little bit wet? Well, that always has a reflection. So that's why cartoonists and artists learn that you got to have that light reflection in an eyeball, and it will make it look more eyeball-ish. So there's one, and I'm going to do the other one. And if you wanted to, you could actually make these two a little bit different sizes. Cartoonists sometimes will use what's called asymmetry. Asymmetry means they're not exactly the same. And that will often give characters a little bit of personality. So there is my eyeballs. There is my body. So my next step is to make the shell. So I'm going to have to cut these out. Now watch how I'm going to do this. If you're smart, you will move the paper and not the scissors, and you can easily cut circles, anything you want, without too much effort. So you see, my hand is just squeezing slowly, and my hand moves that paper around, and there you go. Cutting out a nice little circle. You could also, and I probably should have done it that way, cut out both of them at the same time. But it's okay. They're both drawn the same until you see this is drawn around here. So if you are making this at home and you don't have our kit, I'm going to upload a PDF with this on it. So all you would have to do is print it out, and then you will be able to do it without measuring. If you do want to measure, it's 9 centimeters for the body and 7.5 centimeters for the shells. Everything else you just got to eyeball. But like I said, I will have a template for you in the show notes. Okay, now this is fun. What you want to do is you want to draw a dot right in the middle. Now remember, this is handmade. You can measure it if you want to, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Now notice what I do when I made these. I try to keep the width of this swirl the same. So once I get going, so you see how I have it a certain distance away from that dot? Well, I'm just going to keep it that same distance as I move in the circle. So you see how that is? I stay the same distance away from my first line with the second line. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll just keep coming on out until I run out of room. And there you go. So that one is a lot more to it than these here. And you probably want to do both of them the same way. It doesn't matter if they're not exact, okay? Because they're going to be on opposite sides of each other. Now, I've seen videos of this little creature here. And they made them, but they didn't make both sides. And artists always, if you're a real artist, you know you got to have both sides, because that's called in the round. You don't just make it, if it's a three-dimensional object like this, you got to have both sides. All right, so that's for you serious artists out there. You need to know that. Now, here comes something fun. What we're going to do is we're going to color. And this is going to give us the three-dimensionality, because you know how a snail shell is rounded. So we're going to start here at this dot, and we're just going to go like this. And basically, I'm going to draw real hard. Now, for some of you, you may not be used to shading, and that's what we're calling this. It's a type of shading. And what I want to do is press real hard. Now, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter. And I'm going to blend out into that color. And it's going to make it look like it's going in, like it's a rounded form. And this will work. It's called chiaroscuro. It's a technique that was devised in the Renaissance. And cartoonists, everyone knows how to do this. And that's what things make a little bit 3D, even if it's kind of a flat cartoonish character. You're going to find cast shadows and light, and it just makes it look a lot better. So, as I said, you come down here hard on this part. And I usually teach my students how to do this with blending colors. If you want to try to get into sophisticated blending of colors, you could start off with like a dark, dark red, and then add a red and maybe some orange. And if you have a lot of pencils, you can end up doing like a white right along out here. And that's going to really, really make it look 3D. But I'll try to come in here with a nice blending lesson for y'all. But this is just kind of a quick, easy drawing lesson that you can easily do. And what I recommend is just practice building up your finesse, is what we call it. That's where you have control and skill. Dark here, lighter as you go up. Okay? Sound good? All right. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and move on with this so quickly so we can get going. Now, I recommend you take your time, because the better you draw it, the better it's going to look. And the more people are going to go, oh, wow, that is so cool. How did you do that? Okay? So you see the difference where I just scribbled and where I took my time? This is much, much nicer. And it looks more, and you can start to see how this is starting to look like it's rounded. Okay, so let's pretend like I already did this one too. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our glue. And this one, you want it to be, now if the bottom of the snail shell should be here, so the snail's coming out of it. So you don't want it to come all the way to the bottom here. You want it to be about that much of this showing. So we're going to go ahead and put the glue all right here. And then we'll just set that on it. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now, I'm not going to glue anything else yet because I want to see how it all comes out. Now, guess what we have to do? We have to draw the other side of these eyes. And because I did it in Sharpie, we'll draw these side of the eyes the opposite way. There you go. One eyeball and two eyeballs. And as long as you, now if you wanted to, you could mix and match these, but I'm just drawing inside of here. And there you go. But it is important that you get both sides. Now, when you go to glue these on, you can glue one this way and one this way if you want. I kind of like that idea because that way it'd be, you know, they would actually have one on each side of the head. So I'm going to just take the glue in about the width of your thumb there at the bottom and put that on. And I'm going to kind of cock it a little bit straight up and down. Now this one, I'm going to keep the eyes on the same two. Put it right there, and I'm going to put it on the other side. And there you have it. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, he's so cute. Now, this one has these lines here, so I can't really put the mouth right there. So I'm going to bring the mouth down here. And you can do it however you want. Now, since I did use a red one, if I wanted to add some red here, it might be nice because that way I'm integrating these two things with the use of my red. And I can even put it out here in the eyeballs a little bit. Just to give it a little more visual interest and tie the whole thing together. This is called visual unity. Lots of words I'm giving y'all today. But I tell you, my students, my Saturday students, they all know this stuff. And they remind me when I'm teaching them lessons. Remember the unity. Okay, there we go. Now, what may happen is you want to open it up. Make sure that these are kind of bent that way. And it will rock. Now, if for some reason it is going heavy like this one is, what I figured out you can do is take a clip right here, and I'm gonna attach that clip in there, and this is called a counterweight because we use the heavier tag board for the head. It's lighter in the back, so we want it to rock. We put that there, and there you go. And so now we have our rocking snails. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and come back and see us again.